So, yep, I'm working on that question. Don't worry. So, I had a nice time teaching today, and I think you can probably hear one of my favorite tunes in the background. Me and Julio down by the schoolyard, Paul Simon. So, the day is over. Now it's time to clean up, put everything away. You guys might hear the washing machine going in the background. That's the life of a business owner, a skin therapist who works for themselves, who rents a room. A conversation came up today at class, and I wanted to just kind of touch base a little bit and tell you guys that I've been in your shoes, right? So I know what it's like to have to take care of a family. And maybe you sit on a washing machine at 10 o'clock at night at the local laundromat and you're doing your laundry for the next day for your skincare clients. You might even be studying for your test and doing your book. So depending on where you are in the industry, at what time frame, I've been there. And I know it's very tiring. I don't want you guys to give up. I do understand where you're coming from. And I had a really nice conversation with a few students today. So we were talking about diseases and disorders of the skin, and that's a big chapter in your treatment book. It's something you'll use every day. It's nothing you can skim over, kind of hope to manage, or say you're really not going to use. You will use that all the time. So I really encourage you, just kind of go through it and know that on the other end, you're actually going to do better than you think. And that's really what this is all about. So if I had to call this something, this segment, I would call it Better Than You Think. Better than you know. Probably even better than you can imagine right now. So my background is helpful to this discussion. I've got over 30 years of specialized education at corporate level manufacturer. So I have a very deep knowledge of the skin, of business, of marketing, of everything it takes to be successful in the industry. And, I would love to just kind of open my mind, here you go, take it. But it doesn't work that way. So what I want to tell you is, even with all that knowledge, I really struggled when I went to state board school. So I kind of went a little bit backwards. I sort of went to college first and then back to get my high school, theoretically, in the skincare industry. I was privately trained by an equipment manufacturer out of Germany. If you got it wrong, they hit you. So, I learned really well. And I did that for about 3 years, just selling equipment. And then I came across a skincare product brand at a trade show. And I've worked with European lines, I've worked with American lines, and this particular brand was not well known in the industry, but the people that knew it loved it. And that's actually still true. I personally have chosen to use that brand in my skincare treatments. My point is that this was really an education company to start with first. And even though I was an educator for 3 years, when I started with this company, they said, that's great, go to class. And I said, no, I don't think you understand. I teach classes. And they said, yeah, not here. Go to class. I spent the first month of my job in class, and I know what it's like to study at midnight, to have not even got a doll head, so you kind of use your own knee. Okay, circle, circle, strain, scoop, push. Okay, good. I know what that's like. And you have to perform. It's not like you have a choice, right? You have to make it work. So 30 years of education with that company, 3 with another company in skincare equipment, all in the skincare industry. And I roll into state board school. I call it state board school because that's kind of what you're in your school program to do, in theory anyways, to get your license. You're in there to do a whole lot more. But I thought, how hard can this be? I by that time had a pretty good base of knowledge. I've taken literally hundreds of classes over the years from industry experts that I mean, to this day, they still lead the industry. They're far smarter than I am, far smarter than I'll ever be. So even though I have a big base of knowledge, it somehow did not really make it easier to go through state board school. So that's kind of what I want to share with you guys. You're going to do better than you think. You will do better than you know. Even with all that background, I found that when I opened the book up and I got to, chapter 4, diseases and disorders, I'm like, great, I got this. I was there when we formulated an acne brand. I was there when we formulated a skincare brand specifically for sensitive skin that was tested on oncology patients at a leading university. How hard can this chapter be? Wow. It was hard. It was hard. So, don't give up. Don't get disheartened. I will do my best to kind of walk you through the chapter on disorders and diseases of the skin. I'm going to give you some extra tidbits, and here's what I want you to think about. You're going to read the book. You'll talk with each other in class. You'll quiz each other. You might do an online or an app quiz. You might write out flashcards. You might take flashcard tests. All of that, plus live lectures that you're going to get from your school or from other industry experts, webisodes, things like that. All of that will continue to reinforce things that you don't even know you're learning. I promise you, you're going to do better than you think. You're learning this in ways that are varied, and it kind of creates those little pathways where your brain says, hey, wait a minute, I know what that is. Telangiectasia? I know what that is. Kuperose is another name for it, and this is what it looks like, and this is where it is on the skin. You're going to start finding that flow. It's like learning a new language. Once you begin to think in that language, you're beginning to master that language. So please don't give up. I will do my best to make it fun and enjoyable, informative. I'll try to give you things in a different way so that you can understand them. Your instructors are amazing. Do not underestimate them. They know so much. Take extra classes. Continue to learn. So don't be discouraged. I was in your shoes. I thought it would be a piece of cake. So when you tell me you're overwhelmed, I know what that feels like. I know exactly what that feels like. But it's okay. Your brain is absorbing more than you realize. So I appreciate you guys sticking around while I listen to my tunes, do my laundry, and clean up after the day's work. I'll see you guys tomorrow.